Today we're going to give you a tip that will, most likely at least, make you a better, more effective football player. And quite frankly, I think it's something every young, aspiring football player should know and learn. This is to pass and move. So make sure you've, subscribed to the channel and let's go. Now, I know guys, passing the ball and instantly moving into empty space to potentially receive it again might sound like one of the most basic things in football ever, especially if you're already doing it completely naturally. And it is a really basic thing. I mean, pass, move into empty space, get the ball again, do some damage. Cool. But I actually see a lot of young players making the mistake of simply staying in the same spot after they pass the ball. And that's not what you want. What you want is to pass and move. And there are three reasons to that. A, that by moving, you create empty space where you just were for your teammates to run into. B, when you move into space, you find potentially new, dangerous spots for you to get the ball and cause some damage. And you might even drag the defender's attention with you, making more space for your teammates to potentially cause some damage when you give them the ball. And finally, C, that when you're stationary and you receive the ball, thanks Phil, you're much harder to close down. You're standing on your heels, the defender is running. Who's got the momentum? That's the defender. However, if you're running into space and you receive the ball, you have the momentum, and that's everything in football. Pass and move, that's the win. And actually, if you look at professional players, the pass and move is something they do more or less naturally, as I want you guys to do. And of course, you get your Harry Maguires or Van Dijks or Sergio Ramoses who make these long cross-field passes and then they just stroll around casually because they're awesome, they made that wicked pass. But that's okay because they're not a part of the active play zone anymore. So they can walk around. They don't need to move into a new position to keep the play flowing. But if you are in the active playing zone, moving into a new position after you've made the pass will not only make it easier for yourself, it will create more space for your team and also provide your teammates with much better passing options. And there's another thing. So if you've got a teammate and you're running down to receive the ball, right? You pass it back first time and then you move into a new position, get the ball again, you have time to turn and actually face the goal, making you a lot more dangerous. It's just a little tip. But Jay, in a match, I forget to move. How can I train this? Well, the thing is that the only way to get good at it is to force yourself to do it when you're in a match or at training. That's the secret. But however, you can also train your brain. Anyways, you can do that with some drills and a friend. The first one is a pretty basic one. You have 3 cones, your friend standing at a 4th cone, and basically you take the ball, thank you, Phil. Try working with this guy. Anyways, you go up to the first cone, you pass the ball, and then you run to either side, get the ball, then you start all over. That's coming up to the cone, pass the ball, moving out. And the more you do this, it's super basic, I know, but the more you do this, you make your brain just learn that every time you pass the ball, you have to move. So hopefully in the heat of the match, when you pass, your brain's just gonna take over and move you away from the area. It's that simple. Secondly, you can set up a square of 4 cones where you and your friend pass the ball to each other while you both move. So here, I said see, this is the problem. While you both move. Now here, you move, Phil, yes. But here, you have to be really wary and orientate yourself about where your teammate is going and also where the defenders are, because otherwise, stuff like that happens and you lose the ball. So this might put your brain a little bit to the test. And thirdly, you can spice up the first drill by making things a bit more fun. Because you got your 3 defenders here, but you can actually add another defender by having your friend coming towards you and pressing you after he or she has made the return pass. So come at me, bro. Okay, hopefully this will quickly show you that staying in the same spot will mean that you're a lot easier to close down. Got 2 defenders here, someone coming towards you. And also that by moving into a new position, getting the return pass, you're away from the initial 2 defenders, you're hopefully moving a little bit, and it's a lot easier to get away. Train it. Jay, what happens if I come asking for the ball and I don't get it? Well, you probably guessed it, it's still a good idea to move out of the space you were just in, to open up the space for your teammates, but also to try and stay relevant and stay dangerous by making some noise, making a dangerous run so the defenders will follow you. And if no teammate comes to occupy the space you were just in, you can still run back into said space and make it dangerous and relevant again. So guys, remember to stay mobile. That's the major key here. So there you go, my friends. A nice skill that might seem a bit rudimentary, but is actually really, really effective. And I actually think, there you go, Phil, that it's something that might be even more important to learn than a cool, fancy-looking skills. And if you're already doing this, great, you're an awesome player. If you're not, well, you should totally... Wait, Phil, you should totally start implementing it into your own game, because it's gonna do you a world of good. But guys, what do you want us to teach you next? Let us know in the comment section right down below. And also don't forget that you can go and gear up with new, last pass Phil, with new boots and clothes and balls and all that stuff from the link to our website right over there. But not, of course, before you make sure that you've subscribed to the channel with the notifications on. And then if you want to keep improving as a footballer, the playlist right down there is totally worth watching. So with those words, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.